Hey Taurus, welcome back. I need to talk to you about something that just came up in the cards today, and honestly, this energy is pretty intense. So I pulled some cards for you, and what showed up is telling a very specific story about someone from your past and the games they are still playing. Grab your coffee or tea, because we need to unpack this situation together. Let me start by saying that the energy around this reading feels very charged. There is someone in your world. And Taurus, you probably know exactly who this is, who has been showing up recently acting like absolutely nothing happened between you two. Like they can just waltz back into your life with this casual energy and expect everything to be fine. But the cards are revealing what is really going on beneath that surface. And trust me, it is not what they are pretending it to be. So I shuffled the deck, asking specifically about this person's energy and their true intentions. And what came through is this whole scenario about someone who heard something about you. They got information, whether through social media, through mutual friends, or just through the grapevine, and this information triggered something deep in them. We are talking about rage mixed with envy, and this toxic combination is what is actually driving their behavior right now. The first card I pulled is Strength, and I need to spend some time here because this card is so significant for understanding your position in all of this. When Strength shows up, it is never about aggression or force in the traditional sense. This is about the quiet power that comes from inner mastery, from knowing who you are and standing firm in that truth regardless of what chaos is swirling around you. Looking at this card, I see a figure gently closing the mouth of a lion. This is not about domination. This is about having such a deep understanding of your own power that you do not need to prove anything to anyone. You have already proven it to yourself, and that is what matters. For you, Taurus, this card is affirming that you have reached a level of personal strength and self-awareness that this person from your past simply cannot touch anymore. What makes this so powerful is that your growth is exactly what has triggered their reaction. Think about it. You have been over here doing your own thing, healing, growing, building a better life for yourself, and you were not doing it for show. You were doing it because you finally chose yourself. You finally decided that your peace, your happiness, your well-being mattered more than trying to make something work with someone who was never going to meet you where you needed to be met. The Strength card is also telling me that during the time when things fell apart with this person, you showed incredible restraint. There were probably moments when you wanted to lash out, moments when you wanted to tell them exactly what you thought, moments when the hurt and anger were almost overwhelming. But instead, you chose the higher path. You chose to walk away with dignity. You chose to take the high road even when it would have been so much easier to sink to their level. And here is what is beautiful about Strength in this position. It is confirmation that your restraint was not weakness. Your silence was not defeat. Your decision to walk away and focus on yourself was actually the most powerful move you could have made. Because while they were expecting you to fall apart, while they were maybe even hoping you would come crawling back, you did the opposite. You built yourself up. You became stronger, more confident, more aligned with who you truly are. This card is also speaking to the kind of courage it takes to leave something familiar, even when that familiar thing was hurting you. It takes real bravery to say enough is enough, to set boundaries, to choose your own well-being over someone else's comfort. And you did that, Taurus. You really did that. The Strength card is honoring that journey you have been on. Now, what this person is seeing from the outside is a version of you that they do not recognize. They remember someone they thought they had figured out, someone they maybe took for granted, someone they thought would always be there no matter how they behaved. But that person has evolved. You are not the same Taurus they left behind or pushed away or treated carelessly. You have done the inner work, you have faced your shadows, you have healed wounds they probably do not even know existed. The lion in the Strength card represents our primal nature, our raw emotions, our base instincts. And the fact that you are gently but firmly guiding that lion shows that you have learned to work with your emotions rather than being controlled by them. You have learned that you can acknowledge your anger, your hurt, your disappointment without letting those feelings dictate your actions. That is mastery, Taurus. That is what real strength looks like. I also want to point out that the strength card often appears when we are being tested. And it seems like this person showing up again is exactly that, a test. Will you fall back into old patterns? Will you let their presence shake the foundation you have built? Will you give them the power to disturb your peace? The strength card is saying no, you will not, because you have worked too hard and come too far to let anyone pull you backward. The next card that came through is Seven of Cups, and oh Taurus, this is where we start to see what is really happening in their head. The Seven of Cups is the card of illusions, fantasies, confusion, and unrealistic expectations. This card has 7 cups, each containing a different image, a different possibility, a different fantasy. And when this card shows up in relation to someone else's energy, it tells me that this person is literally living in a fantasy world right now. Let me paint you a picture of what the Seven of Cups is revealing about their mental and emotional state. This person has been sitting around creating all these scenarios in their head about you, about your life, about what you are doing, who you are with, how you are feeling. But here's the thing, none of these scenarios are based in reality. They are all projections, all assumptions, all stories they have made up because they do not actually know what is going on with you anymore. The Seven of Cups shows me that when they heard something about you, whether it was that you are thriving, that you are glowing, that you have moved on, that you are happy, their mind immediately started spinning. They started imagining all these different possibilities. Are you with someone new? Did you never really care about them? Were you just waiting for an opportunity to leave? Are you better off without them? Each cup in this card represents a different fear, a different insecurity, a different story they have convinced themselves might be true. What is fascinating about the Seven of Cups in this context is that it shows someone who is completely disconnected from reality. They are not seeing you clearly. They are seeing their own fears and insecurities projected onto you. They are seeing what their ego needs to see in order to protect itself. And right now, their ego is wounded. It is bruised. It is confused because you were supposed to be stuck. You were supposed to be struggling. You were supposed to need them. But instead, you are out here living your life, doing your thing, and from what they can see or have heard, you are doing better. And that does not fit into any of the cups, any of the scenarios they had created in their mind. They thought maybe you would be bitter. Maybe you would be angry. Maybe you would be stuck in the past, unable to move forward. But none of that is true, and it is absolutely messing with their head. The Seven of Cups is also a card about choices, but in this case, it is about the inability to make a clear choice because everything is clouded by illusion. This person cannot see clearly right now. They cannot think straight. They are bouncing between different emotions, different thoughts, different impulses. One moment they are angry at you for moving on. The next moment they are envious of your progress. Then they are trying to convince themselves they do not care. Then they are obsessing over every little detail they hear about you. This is someone who is stuck in their own mental prison, Taurus. And the irony is that you are not even there. You are not in those cups. You are not feeding into their fantasies or their stories. You have moved on, but they are still back there, replaying everything, reimagining everything, trying to make sense of something that honestly does not need to make sense anymore because it is over. I am also picking up with the Seven of Cups that this person might be trying to present themselves to you in a certain way. They might be showing up acting casual, acting like they are doing great, acting like they have also moved on and are just being friendly. But behind that facade, the Seven of Cups reveals that they are a mess internally. They are confused, they are conflicted, they are nowhere near as put together as they want you to believe. The danger of the Seven of Cups is that it can make someone delusional. They start believing their own fantasies. They start convincing themselves of narratives that have no basis in truth. And I think that is exactly what has happened here. This person has built up this whole story in their head about who you are, what you want, what this dynamic between you is supposed to be, and they are operating from that fantasy rather than from reality. Now we move to King of Pentacles, and this is such an interesting card to come up in this position because it is showing me what they are actually seeing when they look at you now, or what they are hearing about you. The King of Pentacles represents material success, financial stability, groundedness, security, and the kind of energy that comes from having your life together. This is not someone who is floundering. This is not someone who is desperate or lost or struggling. This is someone who has built something real. When I see the King of Pentacles in relation to what this person has heard about you, it tells me that the information that reached them was about your success. Maybe they heard you got a promotion, maybe they heard you are making more money, maybe they saw pictures of you looking confident and happy, maybe mutual friends mentioned how well you are doing. Whatever it was, it painted a picture of someone who is absolutely thriving. The King of Pentacles is earthy, practical, stable. This king sits on a throne decorated with bulls, which is actually your sign, Taurus. How perfect is that? This card is literally representing you in your power, you in your element, you having built something solid and real in your life. You are not chasing fantasies like the Seven of Cups person. You are not living in confusion or illusion. You are grounded in reality, and that reality is pretty damn good. What is eating at this person is that the King of Pentacles represents everything they probably are not right now. While you have been building, growing, and establishing real security and stability in your life, they have been stuck. Maybe they are still in the same place you left them. Maybe they have not grown or evolved. Maybe their life looks exactly the same or has even gotten worse. And seeing or hearing about your success is holding up a mirror to their own stagnation, and they hate it. The King of Pentacles is also about mastery. This is someone who has mastered their craft, their finances, their material world. You have figured things out, Taurus. You have learned how to support yourself, how to build wealth or stability, how to create a life that feels secure and abundant. And that kind of success does not happen overnight. It comes from discipline, from hard work, from making smart decisions day after day after day. You earned this, you built this, and deep down, this person knows that. But here is where the envy comes in. The King of Pentacles has what everyone wants: security, abundance, success. And when someone who maybe thought they were superior to you, or who took you for granted, or who thought you could not make it without them sees that you have become the King of Pentacles, it triggers something primitive in them. It is not just envy. It is also a kind of rage that comes from their ego being completely shattered. They are looking at you sitting on that throne, and they are realizing that they were completely wrong about you. They underestimated you. They thought you were not capable of this level of success or happiness without them. They maybe even told themselves that you needed them in some way. But the King of Pentacles proves that narrative was complete nonsense. You did not need them. In fact, you are better off without them. The King of Pentacles is also incredibly self-sufficient. This is not someone who needs validation from others. This is not someone who is looking for approval or trying to prove anything. This king knows their worth, knows their value, and operates from that place of deep confidence. And I think that is what is most threatening to this person. You are not seeking their attention. You are not trying to make them jealous. You are just living your life, and your life happens to be really good. That authenticity, that genuine contentment is something they cannot fake or compete with. Let me pull the next card, and what comes up is Three of Wands. Oh, this is powerful, Taurus. The Three of Wands is the card of expansion, of looking toward the horizon, of waiting for your ships to come in. This is someone who has planted seeds and is now watching them grow. This is about having vision, having plans, having things in motion that are going to bring even more success and abundance into your life. When I see the Three of Wands following the King of Pentacles, it tells me that you are not just doing well right now, you are setting yourself up for an even better future. You have things in the works. You have plans. You have dreams that you are actively pursuing. And this is not wishful thinking or fantasy like the Seven of Cups. This is grounded, practical planning backed by real action and real resources. The figure in the Three of Wands is standing on a cliff, looking out at the sea, watching ships in the distance. Those ships represent opportunities, success, abundance that is on its way to you. You have already done the hard work of sending those ships out. You have invested in yourself, in your future, in your dreams. And now you are in this phase of confident expectation, knowing that good things are coming because you have earned them. What is significant about the Three of Wands in this reading is that it shows forward movement. You are not stuck in the past. You are not looking backward. You are looking forward with excitement and anticipation. Your energy is directed toward what is coming, not what has already happened. And that is such a mature, healthy place to be, especially after coming out of a difficult or disappointing situation. I think this is part of what this person has heard about you or sensed about you, that you are not sitting around pining for them or mourning what could have been. You have moved on, but not just in a casual way. You have moved on with purpose. You have goals. You have vision. You have things you are excited about. And that kind of energy is magnetic and attractive and threatening to someone who maybe does not have that same sense of direction in their own life. The Three of Wands is also about collaboration and partnership, but in a very different way than the romantic partnership cards. This is about strategic alliances, about working with others toward a common goal, about expanding your network and your influence. So maybe part of what they heard is that you are meeting new people, connecting with others who inspire you, building relationships that are actually supportive and positive. That would definitely trigger someone who maybe was not able to give you that kind of support when you were together. This card is also giving me the sense that you have gained a new perspective. Standing on that cliff, looking out at the vast ocean, the figure in the Three of Wands can see so much more than they could before. They have elevation, they have clarity, and I think you have reached that place too, Taurus. You can see your past relationship or situation for what it really was. You can see patterns you could not see when you were in the middle of it. You can see why things had to end the way they did. And that clarity is part of what makes you so confident and secure now. The Three of Wands is one of my favorite cards because it is so optimistic without being naive. It is not blind hope. It is confident expectation based on real effort and real investment. You know good things are coming because you have put in the work to make them happen. And that kind of energy is unstoppable, Taurus. That is the energy of someone who has taken control of their own destiny and is actively creating the life they want. Moving to the next card, we have the Lovers, and this is where things get really interesting. The Lovers card is not always about romantic love, although that can certainly be part of it. The Lovers is fundamentally about choice, about values, about alignment, about knowing what matters to you and making decisions based on that knowledge. When the Lovers appears in this reading, I am seeing it as representing a choice that you made. At some point, probably when things ended or started to fall apart with this person, you were faced with a decision. You could keep trying to make something work that was not working. You could keep sacrificing your own needs and values to accommodate someone else. You could keep settling for less than what you deserve. Or you could choose yourself. You could choose your own path. You could choose alignment with your own truth. And Taurus, you chose yourself. The Lovers card is honoring that choice. It was probably not an easy choice to make. The Lovers often represents a crossroads, a moment where you have to decide between two different paths, and both paths have consequences. But you made the choice that was right for you, even though it was hard, even though it hurt, even though part of you maybe wanted to choose the easier path. What I love about the Lovers in this position is that it shows me you chose from a place of value alignment rather than from fear or desperation. You were not running away from something. You were choosing towards something. You were choosing a version of yourself and a life that felt true and authentic to who you are. That is the highest expression of the Lover's energy. Now, here is where this connects to the person who is showing back up. I think they are starting to realize that you made a choice, and it was a choice that did not include them. And that is really hard for their ego to accept. They maybe thought the situation just fizzled out, or that circumstances got in the way, or that it was just bad timing. But the Lovers is revealing that no, you actively chose to walk away. You weighed your options, you considered what you wanted your life to look like, and you decided they were not part of that vision. The Lovers card can also indicate that you have found or are finding real alignment in your life now, whether that is with a new person, with yourself, with your purpose, or with your path. You know what you want. You know what you value. You know what you are willing to accept and what you are not. And that clarity is something this person probably never gave you credit for having. They maybe thought you were confused or uncertain or would be easy to manipulate or win back. But the Lovers shows that you know exactly what you are doing. There is also an element of temptation with the Lovers card. The traditional imagery often includes the Garden of Eden, the snake, the tree of knowledge, and I am getting that this person showing up again is a kind of test or temptation. Are you going to fall back into old patterns? Are you going to second guess the choice you made? Are you going to let their presence make you doubt yourself? The Lovers is saying, no, you are not going to do any of that because you remember why you made the choice you made, and that reason is still valid. The Lovers is also about integration, about bringing together different parts of yourself into a cohesive whole. I think you have done that work, Taurus. You have integrated the lessons from this past situation. You have integrated your masculine and feminine energies, your heart and your head, your dreams and your reality. You are a whole person now in a way you maybe were not before, and that wholeness is not something this person can disrupt anymore. Let me move to the next card, and what shows up is the Empress. Oh, Taurus, this is your card. The Empress is ruled by Venus, which is also your ruling planet. This is the energy of abundance, creativity, nurturing, beauty, and divine feminine power. When the Empress appears, it is always a sign of growth, fertility, and the manifestation of your desires into physical reality. What the Empress is telling me is that you are in a phase of your life right now where you are blooming. You are coming into your full power and beauty. You are creating, whether that is literal creation like a business or a project, or it is the creation of a beautiful life that feels abundant and fulfilling. The Empress sits in a lush garden surrounded by all the fruits of her labor. That is where you are right now, Taurus. You are reaping what you have sown. The Empress energy is magnetic and attractive. When you are in your Empress energy, you do not have to chase anything or anyone. Things come to you because you are radiating this frequency of abundance and self-love. I think this is exactly what this person is picking up on, whether consciously or unconsciously. They are sensing that you are in your power, that you are glowing, that you are thriving, and it is driving them absolutely crazy because they thought you would wither without them. But instead, you have flourished. What I love about the Empress in this reading is that she represents self-sufficiency through connection to Source. She does not need anyone to make her abundant or beautiful or powerful. She is connected to the earth, to nature, to the divine feminine, and that connection is what sustains her. You have found that within yourself, Taurus. You have learned that your power, your worth, your beauty does not come from external validation. It comes from within, from your connection to yourself and to something greater than yourself. The Empress is also the ultimate nurturer. But I want to be clear about what that means in this context. It does not mean you are a doormat or that you give everything away to others at your own expense. The Empress nurtures from overflow. She takes care of herself first, ensures her own cup is full, and then shares from that abundant place. That is a huge shift from maybe how you operated in the past, where you might have given and given and given until you were depleted. Now you know better. Now you nurture yourself first. This card is also speaking to your creativity and your ability to manifest. The Empress is a creator. She brings things into being through her vision, her intention, and her connection to the fertile energy of the universe. You have been creating your new life, Taurus. You have been manifesting your desires, and what you have created is so much better than what you left behind. That is what this person is seeing or hearing about, and that is what is triggering all of this rage and envy in them. The Empress can also represent literal abundance in terms of money, resources, comfort. This ties back to the King of Pentacles energy. You have created material stability and abundance for yourself. You are comfortable, you are secure, you are not struggling or suffering. And for someone who maybe expected you to struggle without them, seeing you in your Empress energy is a complete shock to their system. I also want to mention that the Empress is deeply connected to self-love and self-worth. When you are in your Empress energy, you know your value. You are not questioning it or seeking validation for it. You just know. And that unshakable sense of self-worth is probably the most threatening thing to someone who maybe benefited from you not knowing your worth before. They cannot gaslight you anymore. They cannot make you doubt yourself. They cannot make you feel small because you are the Empress, and the Empress knows who she is. The next card I am pulling is Three of Swords, and here we get into the pain this person is experiencing. The Three of Swords is the heartbreak card. It is the card of grief, sorrow, painful truth, and emotional wounds. When this card appears in relation to someone else's energy, it shows me that they are hurting. And not just a little bit. This is deep, piercing pain. The imagery of the Three of Swords is stark. A heart pierced by three swords under stormy clouds. This is not subtle pain. This is the kind of pain that cuts deep, that keeps you up at night, that you cannot ignore no matter how hard you try. And what is causing this pain? The truth, the reality of what they have lost, the realization of what you have become without them. What the Three of Swords is revealing is that underneath all the bravado, underneath the casual act, underneath the pretending like nothing happened, this person is absolutely devastated. They are grieving, they are in pain, and a huge part of that pain is coming from the fact that they have lost you. But even more so from the fact that you are doing so much better without them. That second realization is the sword that cuts deepest. Think about what that must feel like for them. To realize that not only did you not need them, but you actually needed to leave them in order to become who you are now. To realize that they were actually holding you back. To realize that everything they told themselves about how important they were to you, how much you needed them, how you could not make it without them, was completely wrong. That is a painful truth to face, and the Three of Swords shows me they are very much facing it right now. The Three of Swords can also represent betrayal, but I am seeing it from their perspective in a twisted way. They might feel betrayed by the fact that you moved on. They might feel betrayed by the fact that you are happy. They might feel betrayed by the fact that your life got better after leaving them. Of course, that is completely backwards because they are likely the one who did the betraying or the hurting in the actual relationship. But the Three of Swords shows they are experiencing this warped sense of being wronged because reality did not match their expectations. There is also an element with the Three of Swords of being forced to see the truth. Those swords are piercing through illusions, through denial, through the stories we tell ourselves to avoid pain. This person cannot hide from the truth anymore. They cannot pretend anymore. They cannot lie to themselves anymore. The truth of your success, your growth, your happiness is right there in front of them, and it is impossible to ignore. And that truth hurts because it means they have to face their own failures, their own stagnation, their own poor choices. I am also getting that the Three of Swords represents the pain of regret. They are regretting how they treated you. They are regretting letting you go or pushing you away. They are regretting not seeing your value when they had the chance. They are regretting not being the person you needed them to be. But regret is a useless emotion unless it leads to real change, and I am not seeing that happening here. I am just seeing pain without growth, sorrow without wisdom. The Three of Swords is also about the stormy aftermath of a difficult situation. The storm clouds in the card represent the emotional turmoil that comes after a major loss or disappointment. This person is in that storm right now. They are being tossed around by their emotions, by their thoughts, by their realizations. And unlike you, who worked through your storm and came out stronger on the other side, they are still stuck in the storm, unable to find their way out. Now I am pulling Eight of Wands, and this is the card of swift action, rapid communication, things happening fast. When Eight of Wands shows up, it always indicates that things are about to move quickly, that messages are flying, that energy is accelerating. In this context, I am seeing this as representing either actions this person has already taken or is about to take in response to everything they have heard about you. The Eight of Wands is 8 wands flying through the air, all moving in the same direction, all with purpose and intention. This is not random. This is directed energy. And what I am picking up is that this person is acting on the emotions we have been talking about. The rage, the envy, the pain, the confusion. They are not just sitting with these feelings, they are doing something about them. This could manifest in a few different ways. They might be reaching out to you directly, trying to reestablish contact. They might be reaching out to mutual friends, fishing for information about you. They might be posting things on social media designed to get your attention. They might be showing up in places they know you will be. The Eight of Wands shows rapid movement, and it is all directed toward you. What is interesting about the Eight of Wands is that it is a card of impulse. These wands are flying fast, which means there is not a lot of thought or planning behind the action. This is reactive behavior. They heard something about you, it triggered them, and now they are responding impulsively without really thinking through what they are doing or what they hope to accomplish. That impulsiveness is actually in your favor because it means they are not operating from a place of strategy or genuine intention. They are just reacting. The Eight of Wands can also represent messages, and I would not be surprised if you have received or are about to receive some kind of communication from this person. Maybe a text that seems casual but is clearly fishing for information. Maybe a message that is trying to open the door to reconnection. Maybe even something aggressive or accusatory if they are acting from that rage energy. Whatever form it takes, the Eight of Wands suggests it is coming soon if it has not already arrived. There is also an element with the Eight of Wands of things coming to a head. All of these feelings, all of this energy that has been building up, it needs an outlet, and the Eight of Wands is that outlet. This is the moment when everything that has been simmering beneath the surface comes bursting out into action. So be prepared for this person to make some kind of move, but also know that you are under no obligation to respond or engage. The Eight of Wands can also represent a window of opportunity, but in this case, I think it is an opportunity for you, not for them. This is an opportunity for you to set very clear boundaries. This is an opportunity for you to demonstrate just how much you have grown and changed. This is an opportunity for you to show that you are not the same person they remember, and that you are not available for their games or their drama anymore. What I want you to remember about the Eight of Wands is that even though things are moving fast, you still get to control your response. You get to decide whether to engage or not. You get to decide what energy you allow into your space. Just because someone is throwing wands at you does not mean you have to catch them. You can let them fly right past you and fall wherever they are going to fall. The next card that comes through is Queen of Cups, and this is really beautiful because it is showing me your emotional state and emotional mastery. The Queen of Cups is deeply intuitive, emotionally intelligent, compassionate, and in tune with her feelings without being controlled by them. This is someone who has done the deep emotional work and has reached a place of real wisdom and understanding. When I see the Queen of Cups in this reading, it tells me that you are approaching this whole situation from a very mature, emotionally grounded place. You are not getting swept up in the drama. You are not letting their energy destabilize you. You are observing everything from a place of centered calm. The Queen of Cups sits by the water, holding her ornate cup, completely present and aware. That is you right now, Taurus. The Queen of Cups has mastered her emotional realm. She feels deeply, she is empathetic and compassionate, but she has boundaries. She does not let other people's emotions become her emotions. She does not take on other people's pain or chaos. She can hold space for others without losing herself in the process. And I think that is exactly where you are. You can see this person's pain and confusion without making it your responsibility to fix or save them. What is also significant about the Queen of Cups is her intuition. This queen knows things. She can sense energy. She can read between the lines. She can see through facades and pretenses. So even if this person is showing up acting casual, even if they are pretending like their intentions are innocent, you know better. Your intuition is telling you exactly what is really going on. And the Queen of Cups is encouraging you to trust that intuition completely. The Queen of Cups is also incredibly nurturing, but again, she nurtures from a place of wisdom and discernment. She does not give her energy to everyone. She does not pour from an empty cup. She takes care of herself first and then extends compassion to others when it feels right and aligned. So if you feel compassion for this person and their obvious pain, that is fine. That shows you have a big heart. But compassion does not mean you have to rescue them or give them what they want. You can acknowledge their humanity while still maintaining your boundaries. This card is also speaking to the emotional richness of your life right now. The Queen of Cups cup is ornate and beautiful, representing a life filled with deep emotional experiences, meaningful connections, and genuine fulfillment. Your emotional world is full right now, Taurus. You have people who love and support you. You have passions that light you up. You have inner peace and contentment. Your cup is already full, which means you are not sitting around with empty emotional space that someone from your past can just slide back into. The Queen of Cups knows her worth in the emotional realm. She knows the value of her love, her care, her attention. She does not give these precious gifts to just anyone. She is selective about who gets access to her emotional world. And that selectivity is not coldness or cruelty. It is wisdom. It is self-respect. It is recognizing that your emotional energy is valuable and should be treated as such. The final card I am pulling for you is Eight of Pentacles. And oh, Taurus, this card makes me so happy for you. The Eight of Pentacles is the card of mastery, dedication, skill development, and the kind of success that comes from consistent, focused effort. This is someone who has put in the work, who has committed to excellence, who has refined their craft. This is you. The Eight of Pentacles shows a figure at a workbench, carefully crafting pentacles, completely absorbed in the work. There are already 6 completed pentacles hanging up, showing the progress that has been made. This is not someone who got lucky or had things handed to them. This is someone who earned everything they have through dedication, discipline, and hard work. And that is exactly what you have been doing, Taurus. While this person from your past was doing whatever they were doing, you were working on yourself. You were building skills. You were developing your talents. You were investing in your education, your career, your personal growth. You were showing up day after day, putting in the effort, staying committed even when it was hard, and now you are seeing the results of all that work. The Eight of Pentacles is the card of someone who is good at what they do, and you have reached that level of mastery. What I love about the Eight of Pentacles in this position is that it shows your focus and dedication were not about proving anything to anyone else. You were not working hard to show this person what they were missing. You were not grinding to make anyone jealous. You were simply committed to becoming the best version of yourself, to developing your potential, to creating a life of value and meaning. That authenticity of purpose is what makes your success so unshakable. The Eight of Pentacles is also about continuous improvement. Even though you have already achieved so much, you are not resting on your laurels. You are still learning, still growing, still refining your skills. You understand that mastery is not a destination but a journey, and you are committed to that journey. This mindset of continuous growth is something this person probably does not have, and it is part of why they are stuck while you keep moving forward. This card is also reinforcing that your success is real and tangible. The pentacles represent material reality, actual results, concrete achievements that cannot be denied or dismissed. You have not just been talking about what you are going to do or fantasizing about success. You have been doing the work and getting real results. That is what the Eight of Pentacles represents, and that is what this person is confronting when they look at your life now. The Eight of Pentacles also speaks to the satisfaction that comes from work well done. There is a deep sense of fulfillment when you know you have given your best effort, when you have created something of quality, when you have achieved something through your own merit. That fulfillment is radiating from you right now, Taurus. You are proud of yourself, as you should be. You are satisfied with what you have built, and that satisfaction is not dependent on anyone else's approval or recognition. What is also beautiful about the Eight of Pentacles is the focus and presence it requires. The figure in the card is completely absorbed in the work at hand, not distracted by external noise or drama. That has been your approach. While chaos might have been swirling around you, while this person might have been creating drama or trying to get your attention, you kept your focus on what matters. You did not let distractions pull you off course. You stayed committed to your path. So let me bring all of these cards together and give you the complete picture of what is happening here. You have done incredible work on yourself, Taurus. The Strength card showed us your inner power and the courage it took to walk away and choose yourself. The King of Pentacles and the Empress showed us the material and personal abundance you have created in your life. The Three of Wands showed us that you are looking forward with optimism and excitement about what is still to come. The Lovers showed us that you made a conscious choice to align with your values and your truth. And the Eight of Pentacles showed us the dedication and mastery you have achieved through consistent effort. Meanwhile, this person has been stuck in the Seven of Cups, lost in fantasy and illusion, unable to see reality clearly. They have been experiencing the Three of Swords, the painful realization of what they lost, and the truth about their own role in that loss. And now they are in the Eight of Wands energy, taking impulsive action based on rage and envy, rather than any genuine desire to make things right or grow as a person. What they heard about you, whether through social media stalking or through mutual friends, or however the information reached them, shattered their illusions about you. They thought you would struggle. They thought you would be diminished without them. They thought maybe you would come crawling back eventually, but instead they are seeing someone who is absolutely thriving. They are seeing the King of Pentacles on their throne. They are seeing the Empress in her garden of abundance, and it is absolutely eating them alive. The rage part of this equation comes from their ego being wounded. How dare you do better without them? How dare you be happy? How dare you move on and build this amazing life? Their ego cannot handle the fact that they were not as important or necessary as they believed themselves to be, so that wounded ego is lashing out in rage. The envy is even deeper than the rage. Envy is that poisonous emotion that comes from seeing someone else have what you want but do not have. They are envious of your peace. They are envious of your success. They are envious of your happiness. They are envious of your growth. They are looking at everything you have become and everything you have created, and they want it. But here is the thing about what you have built, Taurus. It cannot be taken or borrowed or stolen. It can only be earned through the kind of work you have been willing to do, and they have not been willing to do that work. So now they are showing up acting like nothing happened. This is such a classic manipulation tactic. They are trying to rewrite history, trying to act casual, trying to slip back into your life without having to acknowledge the past or take responsibility for their actions. They are hoping you will just go along with it, that you will be so flattered by their attention or so nostalgic for what used to be that you will forget why things ended in the first place. But the Queen of Cups energy in you sees right through this. Your intuition is sharp. Your emotional intelligence is high. You know what this is really about. You know this is not about them suddenly realizing they miss you or value you. This is about their ego being bruised and them needing to prove to themselves that they still have power over you, that they can still get your attention, that you are not really as over them as you appear to be. And here is what I want you to really understand, Taurus. You do not owe them anything. You do not owe them a response. You do not owe them closure. You do not owe them a chance to explain or redeem themselves. You do not owe them your time, your energy, your attention, or your emotional labor. You have already given enough. You already tried enough. You already invested enough. The Eight of Pentacles shows that you are now investing in yourself and your future. And that is exactly where your energy should stay. The Queen of Cups energy is reminding you to trust your intuition about this situation. If something feels off, it is off. If their sudden appearance feels manipulative or calculated, it probably is manipulative and calculated. If you feel resistance to engaging with them, honor that resistance. Your intuition is protecting you because it remembers what your heart might want to forget. It remembers the pain, the disappointment, the way they made you feel small or uncertain or not enough. Your intuition does not want you to go back to that place, and you should listen. I also want to address the fact that they are showing up now, at this particular moment when you are doing so well. That timing is not a coincidence. People like this have a radar for when you are finally moving on and finding happiness. It is almost like they can sense when you are getting to a place where you do not need them anymore, and that is when they suddenly reappear. They cannot stand the thought of you being happy without them, so they show up to test whether they still have any influence over you. This is the test that the Strength card was preparing you for. This is where you get to demonstrate just how far you have come and how strong you really are, because the old version of you might have welcomed them back. The old version of you might have been willing to give them another chance, to hear them out, to believe that maybe this time would be different. but you are not that version of yourself anymore. You are the King of Pentacles. You are the Empress. You are the Queen of Cups. You are the Eight of Pentacles master craftsperson, and that version of you knows better. The Eight of Wands suggests that whatever they are doing or planning to do, it will happen quickly. So you might not have a lot of warning, but you also do not need a lot of warning because you are ready. You have done the work. You have built the foundation. You have developed the strength and the wisdom to handle whatever comes your way, whether they send a message, whether they show up somewhere, whether they try to use someone else to get to you. You know how to handle it. You set your boundary, you maintain your peace, and you keep moving forward. I want to emphasize something really important here. Their rage and envy are not your problem to fix. Their pain, as shown in the Three of Swords, is not your responsibility to heal. Their confusion, as shown in the Seven of Cups, is not your job to clarify. They created this situation through their own choices and actions. They are experiencing the natural consequences of losing someone valuable who they did not appreciate or treat well. That is on them, not on you. You get to protect your peace. You get to protect the beautiful life you have built. You get to protect your energy and your emotional well-being. And if that means keeping this person at a distance or completely out of your life, then that is what you do. The Lovers card showed us that you already made the choice to prioritize yourself and your alignment. Do not second-guess that choice now just because they are having a hard time dealing with the consequences of their own actions. What I am also seeing in these cards is that your life is only going to get better from here. The Three of Wands shows opportunities on the horizon. The Eight of Pentacles shows continued growth and mastery. The King of Pentacles and the Empress show abundance and stability. You are on an upward trajectory, Taurus, and anyone or anything that tries to pull you off that trajectory does not deserve access to your energy. I know it can be tempting to engage, especially if there is still any part of you that cares about this person or wonders what might have been. But I want you to really think about what engaging would cost you. It would cost you peace. It would cost you the clarity you have worked so hard to achieve. It would cost you time and energy that could be invested in your continued growth. It would cost you the forward momentum shown in the Three of Wands. And for what? So they can feel better about themselves, so they can stroke their ego by confirming they still have some kind of hold on you. That is not a fair trade, and you know it. The Queen of Cups has compassion, yes, but she also has discernment. She knows the difference between someone who is genuinely showing up with good intentions and someone who is showing up with an agenda. She knows the difference between someone who has done real work on themselves and someone who just wants to smooth things over without actually changing. Your Queen of Cups energy can sense what is really happening here, and I trust that you will honor what that intuition is telling you. I also want to talk about the rage component specifically because that is concerning. Someone who is operating from a place of rage is not safe to engage with. Rage is volatile. Rage is unpredictable. Rage can lead to behavior that crosses boundaries or becomes aggressive. So if you are sensing any rage energy from this person, that is a huge red flag. That is not someone who has your best interests at heart. That is someone who is acting from their own wounded ego and could potentially lash out in ways that are harmful to you. The fact that this rage is mixed with envy makes it even more toxic. Envy is one of the most destructive emotions because it is fundamentally about wanting to diminish someone else rather than build yourself up. Someone who is envious of your success does not want to celebrate you. They want to tear you down. They want to find flaws. They want to prove that your success is not real or not deserved. They want to make you feel small so they can feel bigger. That is not love. That is not friendship. That is not anything you need in your life. So when this person shows up acting like nothing happened, remember what the cards are revealing about what is really going on beneath that surface. Remember the Seven of Cups showing their confusion and delusion. Remember the Three of Swords showing their pain and inability to face the truth. Remember that their actions are being driven by rage and envy, not by genuine care or growth. And then make your decision about how to respond from that place of clear understanding. The Strength card at the beginning of this reading was no accident. It was showing up to remind you of the power you have always had within you, the power that allowed you to walk away in the first place, the power that has carried you through your healing journey, the power that has helped you build this amazing life. That strength is still there, Taurus. In fact, it is stronger now than it was before because you have proven to yourself what you are capable of. You have proven that you can not only survive difficult situations, but thrive after them. I want you to think about everything you have accomplished since this person has been out of your life. Think about the goals you have achieved. Think about the personal growth you have experienced. Think about the peace you have found. Think about the confidence you have developed. Think about the stability and abundance you have created. Think about the relationships you have built or strengthened. Think about the version of yourself you have become. Would you trade any of that to go back to what was? I do not think so. And that is your answer right there. The Eight of Pentacles is showing me that you are committed to continuous growth and improvement. You are not someone who settles or stagnates. You are always learning, always evolving, always becoming more. And that kind of commitment to personal excellence requires focus and dedication. It requires protecting your energy and being selective about where you invest your time and attention. Allowing someone back into your life who is operating from rage and envy would be a distraction from that path, and you have worked too hard to let that happen. You know what else I'm seeing in these cards? Completion. The cycle with this person is complete. Whatever lessons you needed to learn from that connection, you have learned them. Whatever growth you needed to experience through that relationship, you have experienced it. The universe is not bringing this person back into your life because you are meant to be together or because there is unfinished business. The universe is presenting this situation as a final test, a last opportunity for you to demonstrate your growth and maintain your boundaries. And I have complete confidence that you are going to pass this test with flying colors, because you are not the same person who entered that relationship. You are not the same person who struggled to leave, or who questioned your worth, or who gave more than you received. You are the King of Pentacles on your throne. You are the Empress in your garden. You are the Queen of Cups with your emotional mastery. You are the Eight of Pentacles craftsperson who knows their value and their skill. That person does not need validation from someone who could not see their worth before. One more thing I want to mention is about the timing of all of this. The Eight of Wands suggests things are moving quickly, but the Three of Wands and the Eight of Pentacles suggest you have time on your side. You are building something sustainable and long-lasting. You are not in a rush. You do not need to make impulsive decisions. You can take your time, observe the situation, and respond from a place of centeredness rather than reaction. Just because someone else is moving fast with the Eight of Wands, energy does not mean you have to match that pace. You get to move at your speed, in your timing, in alignment with your values. The Lover's card is reminding you one more time that you always have a choice. You chose yourself once before, and you can choose yourself again now. You are not trapped. You are not obligated. You are not powerless. You have agency. You have autonomy. You have the right to decide who gets access to your life and who does not. And whatever you decide, make sure it is a decision that honors the journey you have been on and the person you have become. So here is my guidance for you, Taurus. Stay in your power. Stay in your Queen of Cups emotional mastery. Stay focused on your Eight of Pentacles dedication to your craft and your growth. Keep your eyes on the Three of Wands horizon where your real future lies. Trust the Empress abundance that you have created. Honor the Lover's choice you made to align with your truth. Maintain the King of Pentacles stability and success you have built. And remember, the strength that carried you through the hardest moments and brought you to where you are today. If this person reaches out, you do not have to respond immediately. You can take time to process. You can sit with your feelings. You can consult your intuition. You can talk to trusted friends or advisors. You can journal about it. You can meditate on it. You can do whatever you need to do to get clear on what feels right for you, not what feels obligated or expected or convenient. And if you decide that the healthiest choice is to maintain your boundaries and not engage, then do that without guilt. You do not owe anyone an explanation for protecting your peace. You do not owe anyone access to your life just because they suddenly decided they want it. Your energy, your time, your attention, your love are precious resources, and you get to be selective about where you invest them. Remember that actions speak louder than words. If this person has not done any visible work on themselves, if they have not demonstrated real change or growth, if they are still operating from the same energy that caused problems before, then their words mean nothing. The Seven of Cups shows they are still lost in illusion and fantasy. The Three of Swords shows they are in pain, but that does not mean they have gained wisdom from that pain. Real change requires humility, accountability, self-reflection, and consistent effort over time. Anything less than that is just more of the same dressed up in different packaging. I am so proud of you for the work you have done and the life you have built, Taurus. Seriously, the cards are showing me someone who took a difficult situation and used it as fuel for incredible transformation. You did not let heartbreak destroy you. You did not let disappointment make you bitter. You did not let someone else's inability to see your worth make you question it. Instead, you went inward, you did the work, you healed your wounds, and you emerged stronger and more aligned than ever before. That is incredible, and you should celebrate yourself for that. This situation with this person showing back up is just noise. It is a distraction. It is their drama trying to pull you back into a story that you have already finished writing. You have turned the page. You have started a new chapter, and that new chapter is so much better than what came before. Do not let anyone or anything pull you backward when you are meant to be moving forward. Keep shining, Taurus. Keep growing, keep building, keep creating, keep trusting yourself and your journey. The right people, the right opportunities, the right experiences are all coming your way because you have created the energetic space for them by releasing what was not serving you. Stay open to what is meant for you rather than trying to force something that already proved it was not. Your future is bright, your foundation is strong, and your power is undeniable. Trust that and keep moving forward with confidence and grace. Thank you so much for allowing me to pull these cards for you and share what came through. I hope this reading gave you clarity and confirmation about what you already knew in your heart. Trust yourself, Taurus. You have got this.